There are stories written in ink, etched in books, and remembered by monuments. But some stories, HERstories, are written in sacrifice, resilience, and quiet triumph. Today, we honor 10 extraordinary women who embody courage and grace. They are architects of progress, unsung builders of equity and hope.
I am Wendy Waters Cannell, the luckiest CEO of the YWCA Hamilton. And this is Dr. Julia Goodman's HERstory. Dr. Julia Goodman, our founder, who was one of the first female physicians in the city of Hamilton, who noticed that when young women were coming in from the rural areas, they might be a little bit more at risk in industrial environments. So she decided to educate them. And then that led to housing. And 125 years later, we're here, still living her mission. I think the most inspiring thing for me about Dr. Julia Goodman is her pioneering spirit to be a physician in 1900. That took some intestinal fortitude to overcome all of those barriers as a woman to be a leader in the field of medicine. But to go beyond that and look within her community where other women might actually be struggling, and to take her own personal resources and invest in housing and education and training to ensure they had a better future is what is truly a legacy about that woman's existence on this planet. Dr. Julia Goodman would have been an elder in my community. Elders build societies of hope. That's what we want to be, because we owe it to her. And we owe it to our society, and we owe it to ourselves.
Eva Landy's life was a testament to resilience, compassion, and unwavering dedication. A refugee from Nazi Germany, she arrived in the United States and made Hamilton, Ohio, her home in 1944. From her own experiences of hardship and displacement, she dedicated her life to uplifting others, ensuring that no one in her community faced struggles alone. Eva's story has inspired generations, reminding us of the power of service and the impact of one individual's determination. She understood that true change happens not in grand gestures, but in everyday acts of kindness, helping families in crisis, advocating for social justice, and ensuring her neighbors had the support they needed to thrive. In 1975, she founded the Hamilton Emergency Money Fund, assisting thousands of families in times of crisis. For nearly 30 years, Eva dedicated herself to this mission, proving that a helping hand at the right moment can change lives.
I'm Susan Antonin, and this is my mother, Ann Antonin's HERstory. She was born in Virginia in the South. She graduated high school, Withrow High School in Cincinnati, when she was 16 years old. And a guidance counselor said, you really need to go to college, and got her a co-op arrangement with the University of Cincinnati, and she majored in fine arts. Then World War II broke out, so she got a call from the Dean of Architecture and said, we need you to study architecture so we can keep our accreditation. She got very involved with helping German Village get organized as a community, a neighborhood, and get their historic designation. She got involved in politics. Someone who suggested, why don't you run for council in Hamilton? She did. She came in second. She was the vice mayor. Mayor Witt had a heart attack and actually died in the council meeting. After a week or some time, she became the mayor. Historic preservation was very important to her, so she started her own company called the Ann Antonin Restoration Company. The history of Hamilton is really important to her, and she feels like that's what creates the community and gives it a better future.
My name is Melanie Walker, and this is my great-grandmother, Nellie Craig Walker's HERstory.
Nellie Craig's exact birthday is unknown, a common occurrence for African Americans of the time. Her father was Jesse Craig, a private who fought in the American Civil War for 11 months. Her mother was Susan Ross Craig, freed slave from Kentucky.
Nellie Craig Walker graduated in 1905, the first black person to earn a degree from the university. Nellie Craig Walker earned her 2-year teaching certificate from the Ohio State Normal College, now our College of Education, Health, and Society. She was the first black student teacher in the Oxford public school system. After she graduated, she taught at an elementary school in Indiana. She married James Walker in 1911 and lived in Cleveland. The Cab Building was the home of the Normal College's McGuffey Laboratory School from 1910 until 1983. It will now be known as Nellie Craig Walker Hall. With this change, we celebrate the trailblazing path that Nellie Craig Walker established. She was the first to set us on our current path of striving to make Miami a more inclusive, diverse, inviting, and welcoming place for everyone.
And it is this spirit that lives on through us, Nellie's descendants. Every generation of our family has gone on to become college graduates after she obtained this groundbreaking achievement.
My name is Virginia Wrighton, and this is my her story. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and grew up in Springfield, Missouri. I graduated from Tulsa University and then moved to Middletown, joined a committee with the city task force committee that developed into Midwest International. Midwest concentrated on bringing the world to the Midwest in meaningful ways. We elected to do a program that concentrated on one country or one part of the world each year and doing an in-depth dive into that country.
I'm Shakila Ahmad, and this is my her story. I am a Cincinnati girl. I grew up here. I wasn't born here. I immigrated here as a child, went to University of Cincinnati in mathematics and information systems, worked for IBM, then ended up getting engaged and helping to start the Allergy and Asthma Specialty Center. Throughout the whole process, my husband Masood and I have raised 3 children. They're all adults. They're all married, all for the payroll, thank God. And then we have 1 grandchild. I was asked to be on the Islamic Center of Greater Cincinnati board right before it opened. So when I was asked to be on the board of directors as the youngest and the first female, I joined the board and I really thought about what is it that I can do to contribute what, I can bring to the table that maybe others can't. So I helped to set up the education and outreach program called the Tours and Talks program, which was able to welcome people. What I hope to be able to do in my humble way is to really be able to inspire others, to inspire them to continue to reach out with open arms and open minds to people in order to help us grow in our knowledge and to grow closer to one another.
Hi, my name is Jackie Phillips Carter, and this is my her story. I am the City of Middletown Health Commissioner, and that role and title was unknown to me when I started off in my journey, but public health has been simply the best place anyone could work. A little bit about myself. I was born in North Dakota, Minot. My father was in the military, and we moved to Middletown 1969 and have been here ever since. I came into the health department by a person named Ron Murray that ended up being a good friend of mine, but he was the health commissioner here, and he loved people as well. And I realized from the beginning to now, towards the end of my career, it is about the people, and the love of people is what makes your community the community that it is. I was in dentistry first, and then when I became the nursing director for the health department, we opened up the first dental clinic here. And so it was all my past history of dentistry that I used for that. So it prepared me for that position. But I truly believe that God has a plan for you. And it's been my faith, I think, that has kept me on the days I just want to give up. But the faith says, don't grow weary in doing good. My legacy would be connection, the connection of people. Once you know people and you connect with people, they trust you. And when we went through the pandemic, it was definitely a time of uncertainty, but Middletown was the best city to work in and for. We worked hard. We had people that were fearful, and we talked to each individual. We had partnerships. We were the number one, the first health department that vaccinated their schools. When all the schools were closed and the governor said, let's go back, that was a big accomplishment because I wanted everybody to be healthy and safe.
My name is Kathleen Klink, and this is my HERS story. By profession, I'm an educator, and I did that 47 years. I like to collaborate, and I like to listen to people share their thoughts. Part of a passion of mine is to be sure that people have a voice. And when I was on city council, we hired our new city manager, Joshua Smith. One of his first ideas was a strategic plan for the path going forward. And one component of that plan was talking about neighborhoods. So I was fortunate enough to chair that component, and we evolved into what we call today our movement, 17 Strong, because we have 17 distinct neighborhoods. It's all about helping residents have safe, clean, and active neighborhoods. And in order to make that happen, we have grants available. So they have the resources to make things happen. And for the last 5 years, and this is the best part for me, we've been doing it with 5th grade students. We go into their classroom and explain what a nano grant is and listen to their ideas, and then we let them know they have money available to implement their idea. Their eyes are like saucers. They can't believe it. But then I say to them, you have a voice, and your voice matters. We need to hear it.
My name is Catherine Ruff, and this is my HER story. I'm 97 years old next month, which I'm proud of. I'm being blessed. I was born in Terrell, Alabama, and it was, 1928 when I was born, so that lets you know something there. And I didn't like the way things were. I don't know what made me say this, but at that moment I said, one day, I was 13, and I said, one day I'm gonna be in an office just like that white woman. If she can do it, I can do it. And I think it was in 91 that I was vice mayor. And I stayed on council after that until 1997. I decided not to run again. My daughter, she had Lou Gehrig's, and she died that year as well. So then I married to someone in New Miami in 96. So I moved to New Miami and I got up there, and it was just, it was not together, right? And they needed help. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna run for this office so I could help them. So I did. I ran to that, became council member, and believe it or not, the mayor passed away, and I became mayor. I was second place there, and I was mayor there for 2 years.
My name is Kelly Kurtz, and this is my HER story. I was born and raised in Hamilton, grew up in Lindenwold, went all through school, met my husband in high school. I went to Miami, we got married, just thinking we're gonna have just, that normal Catholic family life. Then in 2015, our middle child shared that she was transgender, and our life completely changed. We all just went through a really difficult time figuring out what it meant, what it was going to mean for her, and most importantly, how we were going to keep her safe. It was through that experience that I realized that I had a purpose in fighting for people like Allison. My mission is just to be there to support other families. This time is incredibly difficult for families of trans kids. And we want to make sure by sharing our story that we're showing families that there There are other people who've been on this journey, and we're here to support them, and we're here to love them, and we're here to fight for them.
We are the YWCA Hamilton. We will get up and do the work until injustice is rooted out, until institutions are transformed, until the world sees women and girls, Black, Indigenous, and people of color the way we do, equal, powerful, and unstoppable. That is who we are.